Here we go. What up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? My name is Robbie J. Fox. For those who don't know, I am actually a card maker for the Anime Soul community. If you are a card maker, this is a very, very vital video for you to learn. I'm going to have two other card makers with me as well. I have one of my good friends, Sin. Sin, say hello.
Hello.
There you go. And I also have another card maker with me as well by the name of Yukina. You can go ahead and say. Okay, so these two people will be helping me and get this video along. They are definitely better card makers than I am for the most part. So we're gonna jump right on in and give out advice. So number one thing I'm going to say is that if you're going to be a card maker, when you start making cards, the first thing you want to do is log into Anime Soul website, go to cards. And whatever cards you're going to make, please, 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 this is going to save you a lot of time and effort. Look up whatever character that you plan on doing. Please do that first. So, for example, I think I spelled it wrong. There we go. Koi Choco. For example, I'm going to be making some cards from this series. The first thing I want to do is look and make sure that this series has cards. So for example, if you're a Naruto fan and you want to make Naruto cards, go into the site and see how many cards. Now there are 349 cards in this series, meaning that whatever character you plan on doing, it's probably already here. So number one advice is please go through the series and make sure that it does not have cards. Second thing, if you want to become a card maker, and this is for people who haven't started making cards yet, go to community tab, go to submit cards, and then download the template. There's two things you need. I believe in order to make cards you need Photopea and Photoshop. Now I'm going to be using Photoshop because that's what I have. You're going to download the template. I already have the template downloaded here. We open Photoshop and this is what the template is going to look like. So whenever you're making cards, depending on what tier you want to do, you open the layer comps and it's going to have every single tier ready for you. So the tier 1s, tier 2s, tier 3s, tier 4s, tier 5s, and tier 6s. Everything is already here in the layer comps. Now, if the layer comps button is not here, like you do not see it, and I think my camera's right here so you can't see it because I'm blocking it, you can go to the search button up in the top right hand corner, type in layer comps or layer, and it should be right here, layer comps window, and that's how that pops out. Easy peasy, right? So Sin, everything's good with you? Everything, Yukina, you guys good?
Yeah, you're explaining very well, actually.
All right, so second piece of advice when you're making cards. If you already found your renders, and I'm going to get into how to find renders in 1 second. If you already have your renders, please, please, whenever you save them to your computer, organize it. It is very, very essential. I know I said that right. Essential to have all of your tiers organized. So for example, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. I don't have tier 4 here for a reason we're going to get into. Tier 5, and then this is the regular template card that you open up. Now when you open up the templates, you're gonna have the regular template, and then you're gonna have the duo for if you have more than one character. If you have two characters, you open the duo. Game we kind of don't touch unless it's Genshin, and then you have the group card which has 3 or more characters. So right now we're only doing one character, so we already have it open in Photoshop, which is the character. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into T1s. And we're just going to go into jumping on how to find the characters. So for example, this is what I'm using. So when you're looking up characters, there's a multitude of ways to find characters. One is fandom, which is what I use a lot. So if you go into Google, type in fandom, etc., etc., come on internet, there you go, and let's say once again Naruto. Here we go. if I go to anime characters, blah, 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 I want to explore the characters. Here we go. So let's do Hanzo. Everybody knows who Hanzo is. So we have the image gallery here that you can scroll through to find pictures for T1s, T2s, C3s, etc., etc. That's one way to find art. Another way you can find art is something I like to use called PNG egg. Now, fair warning, when you're looking for art, and this is really, really important, be careful of the sites that you use and make sure you're looking for official art. Whenever you're looking for official art, fandom is one great place to go. PNG egg is also another great place to go. However, make sure that you double check for the renders, because a lot of times the renders are fan art that's completely rendered out. So do be very careful. You can unsend. Do you have any other suggestions?
Nope.
Always go and check the official sites of anime to find renders if you need them. 100. You can find a lot of assets and actual rendered out versions of the characters already on site. If you go to My Anime List and look at external links section on the left, you will see official site. If you click on the official site, there are different tabs usually. It's all custom designs per anime. But you can find character, Blu-ray, special. Those are all very good resources. Blu-ray is usually good for tier 4s. There's a lot that is posted on official sites that may not be posted on Zero-Chan or Fandom. So it's always good to check that. You can also inspect element and go straight to sources in the official site and find specific assets used to make the site look more like the anime. And by taking those, you can give an aesthetic to your card that fits the anime very well. So I'll always recommend checking if a site has an official site. It's very commonplace now for official sites to be well made. That said, the further back you go in anime, so say an anime made in like 2008, even like as recent as 2016, may not have an official site, depending on how popular the show was or how old it was. Like a lot of sites were made on Flash or the renders aren't rendered, but it's always good to check it, especially for newer series, because you can find really good renders that way.
There you go. So what I'm doing right now is I'm downloading a render because it didn't have the render the way I wanted. So I went to PNG egg. I typed in the name of the anime. It popped up the characters I want. Now, granted, it doesn't always give you every single character, and there will be a lot of summer art as well. So girls in bikinis, I'm just giving you a fair warning. I downloaded it, so we're gonna go back into where's my folder? Sensei T2. So this is already rendered out. Open. Boom. So now what we're gonna do is we are going to delete this watermark. Boom. Control C. Now she's a T2 character. I do understand this anime very well. She's a T2 character. We go in and we want to get rid of this. We want to get rid of the character T1, T2. Everything else you're going to, well, for the most part, everything else you're going to leave alone. Control V, which is control paste. Control T to make it fit in. And let me know if I'm going too fast, guys. So you want to make her fit within the render. Within the card. So I'm going to make her a little bit smaller. There we go. And so we're going to drag this, what is this called? This mask. We're going to drag it up onto your render. There you go. Now she is a little bit, I don't like the fact that her head is being covered. So I'm going to make it a little bit shorter. There you go. Since her hair cuts out on the left side, you want to always make sure that your cards look nice. So since her hair kind of cuts off, we're going to move it to where it looks kind of natural. Boom, already. Our card already looks great. So now here's where the things get interesting. So we have the card. Do I have, is this her right here? Yes. So we have the character here, and this is where her information is. So her name is Chisato Sumiyoshi. I'm praying to God I said that right. So we're going to copy this. go back into Photoshop, into character name, and we're going to paste it. Easy peasy. Now when it comes to the name and the form, your name, the form, the series name, and the description is all under info writing. It's all going to be right here. And these are what we're going to change within the T1s and T2s. So, nickname and form. The name of the anime is called Koi to Cinco to Chocolate, which means love chocolate in election. That is a big name. So we're going to send, what is it called when you shorten the name?
You're going to use shorthand or the synonym, which
the
for
synonym.
this would be Koichoko.
Yes. So we're going to, did I spell that right? I did. So it's going to be called Koichoko. Now this is her original form. So original form means the form that she's mostly seen in within the anime. So we're going to change that to original. Her name is Chizuto. Again, praying that I said her name right. My Japanese is something to be desired. So, already we got most of the card done. We got her name, I did spell this wrong. There we go. Her nickname / form, the anime name, and then all we need to do is the info. So when it comes to lower tiers, you want to grab the info that you find either on Fandom or My Anime List, aka Mao. So we're going to copy this. So a sophomore, blah, blah, blah. So another thing, so with her info, it has a spoiler right here. Childhood friend who does not like chocolate due to the death of blah, blah, blah. So we want to avoid spoilers at all costs. So this is fine right here. Control C, Photoshop, Control V. We want to get rid of this right here because we understand what her Japanese name is. We don't need to go too much into it. Now you would think that this is fine, right? But it's not. Whenever you're making cards, there's one other thing that you need to do, which is a very, very important very important thing you need to have, and that is Quillbot, aka Quillbot or Grammarly, whichever you want to do. Reason being is if you want your cards to be approved, you need to make sure the grammar is there. And see, it already says that there's 3 errors. With those 3 errors, your card's going to get rejected for it not being grammatically correct. So fix all errors. Everything seems to be fixed. We copy, go back in, Control V, boom. And with that, your card is just about done. The only thing that needs to be changed is the character glow box. And you want the character glow box blocks. I'm saying blocks. The character glow box to match whatever's inside the character. So whatever color is most prevalent, which seems to be her hair, it could be her hair or her uniform, because her eyes kind of match her uniform. So we're going to go with her uniform. You want to change it, and you see how the outside kind of changed it. So if I choose green, it's going to change. If I choose orange, it's going to change. So we want to go with the blue, because it's the most prevalent color here. Press OK. And with that, your card is done. That's all it takes.
You're wrong.
I'm wrong. Uh-oh, I missed something.
Yeah, you forgot that we can't leave default backgrounds on tier 2s.
Ah, that's right. So we have to go back in and change the color of the background. So with T1s, this would have been completely okay. But with T2s, we need to add a color overlay, which I'm going to choose her hair. And that works. Now we're done. There we go. I'm glad she brought that up, because I would have completely got my card rejected for it being a default background. Now it looks good?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to control copy this. We're going to export as a PNG. We are going to go into where's my sensei? There we go. Since this is a T2, I'm going to make a new folder called finished. Since this card is done, put her name, save, and now the card is done. So all you need to do, once you finish a card, go into submit cards, type in her name. Kind of scared to open this. Okay, it's all good. Go into T2, finished, open. You see how whenever everything is just already organized, as soon as I finish the card, it's already in a folder called finish. You want to make sure you keep things organized. That way you know how to find everything. I've seen too many card makers make cards and it's just absolute garbo. So we need to find the render that we use, which is right here. Copy it. Now this isn't the normal way you should do things, but I'm going to do it for right now. T2. The name of it is Koi Choco. Character name is Chizuto. I'm not going to bother trying to say her name. And it was her original form. And that's all we need to do. Once you have all of these filled out, press submit, and your card is sent for approval. So that's T2s. Now, T1s are kind of the same thing. I'm just going to make this into a T1 real quick. I'm not going to submit it, mainly because she's a T2 character, and I don't want to do that. So T1s would be exactly like this, and the only thing you change with T1s would be the character glow box. That is it. Unlike T2s where you would change the background, you only change the character glow box and you have your T1s. That is it. You don't want to make any other changes, otherwise it's an error and it will be denied. So we good with that? You can ascend. We're good with that?
Yeah, sounds good.
Awesome. So we exit that. No, I don't want to save. Now, jumping into T3s. Once again, go into cards. And for T3s, I'm going to use this art right here. This is another site I use for official art. Make sure it says official art right here. Now, when it comes to this site in particularly, you want to make sure that whenever you type it in here, it says official art. It's going to be official_art. And it's going to show you all the official art. And then if you want to find the specific anime, you type in blah, blah, blah. Now, fair warning with this site. A lot of the official art also comes from visual novels, light novels, and doujins. What that means is that there's going to be some art that's not necessarily appropriate for everyone. So be very, very careful what you use on this site. And also be very careful when you're using this site, who's around you. You don't want to use the site in public and then something accidentally pop up and you be like, oh shit. So be very, very careful when you're using this site. Same thing for, actually I think it's just this site in particular. PNG Egg is kind of good to use. Fandom is very PG-13, so everything else is pretty good. So we're gonna go into Shauna because that's what we're looking for. We're gonna, oh, these are all the cards for this anime. So right off the bat, there's no group cards, so the art that we're using is 100% safe. So we're gonna copy image, go into Photoshop. Now T3s are like the dumbest, easiest thing to do.
Robbie, would they be a tier 4 group or a tier 3?
T3.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. Because Shauna's the only main character here, and all of these are minor characters. Actually, she might be a main. She might be a main. So
Yeah,
it's
a tier 4.
It would be debatable. I'd leave it up to everybody else to decide. So once again, make sure it fits within the frame. I kind of want it to fit perfectly, so their hair might cut off. Once it's here, take the layer. Boom. Now they fit. Now here's where things get stupidly annoying. Because this is a group card, and I did it wrong because you're supposed to have the group logo right here. Actually, let's do that. Let's do that really quickly. So ASN card templates. We go into Duo Group. It is a group card, so we open it. So there's the group logo right here. Let you know that it's more than one character. Go into T3s. Boom, boom, boom. Control V, put them back in. Control T to mold the shape. There we go. We kind of want most of their faces in, so we adjust, bring that up, and there we go. So the characters within this, their names is right here. We have Shauna, blah blah. I can't be bothered to say all their names because my Japanese is not the greatest. So character name. Oh, I hate this. So when it comes to group cards and the layer cards, be aware that a lot of these are locked, and you have to unlock them. I've always disliked that. So let's go to name, character name. So these are unlocked. Look at that description. We don't need to touch any of this other stuff, so it's fine if it's locked. Awesome. So this character's name is Shauna. The other character's name is Kazumi. I think I spelled it right. And then we have Matake. Mata what? Bro, I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered to say her name. Actually, no, these are their last names. So it's Ogata and Yoshida. Okay. So Ogata. And Yoshida. Let me make sure I'm spelling it right. Yoshida. Cool. So, since this is really long when it comes to the name, and this is their original forms. So, original. Because everything is long, we're going to have to edit it a little bit. Shift, enter, and Yoshida. I'm going to take this. Whoops. I want to be very careful about this. It is not going the way I want to. There we go. Perfect. Excuse me. Name of this card. What is the name on site? It is Shakugan no Shana. Shakugan? Double
May
check.
I add something?
Go ahead.
Robbie, at the top where the series, if you go back to the website, go to the top. Right there, next to the name at the top versus tier and everything, you can just copy the series name from there.
That is true. Thank you for that. That saves me so much time. See, this is why I have them here, so they can help me out. And it completely corrected itself. Now, info. This is where it's going to be a pain. So, we want info about all of them. So, once again, we go into fandom. And Control V. So, she's the main character. So, I'm going to go into background, blah, blah, blah. Damn, there's a lot here. Relationships. So I want her relationships with her friends, which is right here, Yoshida. And I don't think it has anything on Ogata. Ogata should be here. It's not. So we're going to go into Ogata separately. No, Ogata's not here. So Shauna is a love writer with Kazumi Yoshida. So we're going to enter that in. So Shauna. Is it Ogata or Yoshida? Yoshida. Okay, so Shauna and what's the main character's name? Yuji. There you go. I remember this anime, so I could actually put this on rip. So once again, go into the description, copy. We go into Grammarly. Control A, Control V. Look for errors. No errors. Yo, your boy is on point. Absolutely no errors. Control A, Control C. We go into Photoshop. And for T3s, we want to change the outer glow. And the most, ironically, the most prevalent color would be white, green, or blue. But since blue is default, we're going to go, green would be ugly. So we're going to go with white. Because that's what I want it to be. And we're done here. No issues, no errors. Sen and Yukina. I think they dipped.
Not entirely sure.
Oh, shit.
Because tier 3s are often... It depends on the lead who's checking them what the rules are with tier 3s. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know if white would be accepted because sometimes it seems like it's not there. So you might want to use the gold trimming of their uniforms or one of the skin colors, potentially, to make it light but not exactly white. But
we're gonna use
those
peach
are options.
then. We're going to use the peach of her skin then. File, export as a P. Oh, hold on. I want to Control C, their name. File, export as a PNG. Go back into finished. Nope. Sensei. There we go. T3s. New folder for finish. Keep it organized. And save. Now I'm not going to submit this one because I already taught you guys how to submit. So we're done here. Actually, let me save this. It keeps bringing me to my T5s. Here we go. I want to go ahead and save the PSD. And save. Okay, we're going to jump right into T4s. Much like T3s, T4s are just as easy. So we're going to go into Don Machi, one of my favorite characters. So once again, same as last time. We go in. Type in Don Machi. Make sure that this has no cards. From the looks of it, let's go to T4s. Now, most of these were made... Actually, I think I only made 2 of these cards. Go into T3s to make sure the art is not used. Now, most of these I definitely made. So, the art has not been used. There's no duo cards from the look of it. So, what that means is we can now make it. And also, official art, so we're allowed to use it. Copy image. Go into Photoshop. Go to character. Shut it off. Control V, Control T. Now, this is going to be a nice card. This one I will definitely submit for you Don Machi fans out there. So the difference, obviously, between T3s and T4s is you can use the entirety of the art. Boom. So we're going to fix the name down here, Don Machi. And the character's name is Hestia. And Lily, I think her name is Lily Ruka. Let me double check and make sure I spelled her name right. Yo, on point. We got it. On point.
Remember, do check with Mal.
Do check. Yes, you can check on Mal for their names and whatnot, but I'm actually positive that this is their name.
Well, Hestia, yes, but the other one.
That's her name. Hestia. Now, this is kind of long, so it might be pushing it. Yeah, that's long. So what we're going to want to do is shift enter. And I'm hoping I don't mess this up. Nope. I've
So
always...
you have to click it click it as though you're typing, and then pull down.
There we go. And on point. So we're not quite done yet because this is not there. And then the character glow box, we want to change it. Yellow would work because it's the background is yellow. The only problem is that they're going to consider it default. So let's see if we can get a deeper yellow. There we go. Get a deeper yellow. We could use white too. Actually, would white be alright? White would be okay. But no, I want to use yellow. We're going to use a deep yellow. So, once again, we go to fandom. Let's type in Hestia fandom. Now, fandom is one of the sites that I like to use, relationships. So, her relationship with Lily Ruka. And I don't need to do anything. And all the info is already here. Control V. It is long. So what we're gonna that's not what I want to do. Once again, guys.
Do not forget the dual tag on the top of the card.
Control V. I know what you're saying. Give me a second. 2 errors. Fix it. Copy. Control V. Now you said tag at the top.
The heart thing that was always at the top.
Ah, son of a. Uh-oh. So I'm not gonna submit this one because actually, you know what? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go open the duo template, click on the heart, Control C, go up, frame, Control V, Control T, and we're just gonna move the heart. Whoops. Move the heart up. Right about there. Now let's double check. There we go. Okay, it seems just about right. Alright, it seems just about right. If there's any errors in the what's your name? The card lead send will let us know. But this is what the T4 should look like. Control C. We're gonna go ahead and save it. Export as a PNG. This is going to go into our T4 folder, new folder, T4. Control V, and actually, is this the? No, another folder within it, and it's going to say finished, and we save, just like that. So we're going to also again save as, because I want to save the PSD as well, not just the PNG. Keep your stuff organized at all costs. And we finished the T4s. Now I know this is already a long video going through T1s through T4s, but now it's going to get even longer. Reason being is we're going to get into the fun part of making cards, and also the most tedious parts of making cards. Let's see who's here. You guys are all still here. All right, Sin and Yukon, are you ready for this one?
Yep.
This is going to be fun. Now we're going to jump into T5s. So, man, when it comes to making T5s, this is when the rules get broken a tad bit. So when it comes to T1s and T4s, they're really simple, really easy. You have to stick with a certain format. T5s are not the same. T5s is where your creativity goes completely wild. Now, there's 3 things you have to take in consideration when it comes to T5s.
If the character's worth a tier 5.
Well, yeah.
If the art is usable. If the series has a tier 5 already, or a tier 6. Occasionally, okay. So most main characters will always be a tier 6. So making a main character a tier 5 will probably be rejected for it being a tier 6. That said, on some series where it's primarily romance, for example, Aoharu Ride, That's a romance, complete romance. The main characters would get a duo tier 6. Thus, the individual characters would get solo tier 5s to even that out. So that's an exception.
Sorry, Sand. Unless it's a particular popular romance anime exactly like Silent Voice. Where the solos would have tier 6s.
There you go.
That's not a romance, though.
Silent Voice is a romance.
No. It's not a romance, considered a romance.
It is.
I finally figured it out in my head because I completely drew a blank. So the 3 things you want to pay attention to when it comes to making T5s. The render, or the character, the color schemes, and the composition. These are all very, very, very important things. So, we'll make sure whenever you're choosing a character, because you have so much freedom, there are some things you want to pay attention to. So now when it comes to making cards, I only make cards of female characters because I can't bother myself to make other non-male characters because a lot of them have already been made within the game, like Naruto, Goku, or Deku, for example. They've already been made, and they're T6 characters. So when it comes to making characters, so let's go ahead and say what you're not going to need. When we jump in, you're not going to need the character glow box. You're not going to need the name back because you're going to change all of that. The name you are going to need, but you're not going to need it like that. You're not going to need the render, obviously, because we've been changing that. You're not going to need the background. Already, we've changed the entirety of the card. Most of what you thought you were going to use, you're not going to use anymore. So now we're going to jump in. I already have a character ready. T5s. And open with Photoshop. Control C. And we're going to I'm going to put her in here. Why? There we go. So I'm going to make her fit. So when it comes to T5s, I keep pressing the wrong thing. There we go. When it comes to T5s, you want to make them pop outside of the frame a little bit. And I do want her to be a little bigger. There we go. So I want her hair to pop out of the frame. So her hair is going to pop out on this side. Do I want her hair to pop out on the other side? I don't. So that's not going to matter. So I want her hair to pop out. I don't know if I want her hand to pop out. So again, this is all based on what you want to see. So I want her head to pop out. And I want her hair to pop out. So as you can see right here, I'm going to have to redraw this. Now redrawing is actually incredibly important when it comes to making cards. Now, if you have art, let's say like this, where the character is part of the background. Let's hide this real quick. So for example, if I wanted to make her a T5 and she's part of the art, you're going to have to, what's the word? You're going to have to, when you're messing with the frame, you can keep it where it is because you don't want to move it too much. But since my character is not a part of the background, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this frame and I'm going to move it. Now, whenever you're making T5s, since it's dealer's choice, I'm going to move it below the character. See, she pops out of the frame now. And I'm going to have to erase this and fix all of that. It's dealer's choice when it comes to how you want to make cards. This is how I would do it. So if you don't want to do it this way, you're free to do as you please. Again, it's you being the creator of the card. You have let me not curse too much. You have a crap ton of freedom. So because this is outside the render, we want to go ahead and get rid of some areas. I'm going to go ahead and click on the rectangular tool because eraser used to be my thing until somebody hyped me to this. Delete. Want to delete the outside? Delete. And I'm going to leave the right side alone because I'm going to do something special with that. Actually, I can delete. You know what? I'm not sure if I want her hand or not. If I choose to let her hand be in, I'll come back later. But let's do it now. Just go ahead and delete because I want her hair to pop out. Done, done, and done. And Sen and Yukina, you can go ahead and make comments if you want to. I'm going to erase that. So let's go ahead and redraw real quick. I'm not the best redrawer, but this is going to be relatively simple. This is how I redraw. Oh, my opacity's at lowest. Wow. So, come back here. Like I said, I'm not the best redrawer in the world. So I'm going to clone stamp. Let's do this. There we go. And then this is going to be, there we go. Eraser. Why's my eraser so big? And her hair is done. Her hair has been redrawn. Not the best, but it works. Now her render is a little blurry. So when renders are blurry like this, what you want to do, and this is, there's so many different things that you can use for T5s. When renders are blurry, you can either sharpen it, which is usually what I do. And as you can see, the quality just increased. Now you don't want to over sharpen. Because if you over sharpen, that's a little over sharpen. It's not too bad, but it's not what I want. But if you do over sharpen, let me just do it for an example. Because a lot of people tend to do that. Look how noisy it is now. It does not, look at that. That's nasty. That does not look good at all. So Control Z, Control Z. That's better. So much more better. Now the name of this anime is Hyper Neptune Dementia. I have no idea if I said it right. So let's go in. Hyper Neptune.
You check the website to see if there's any cards for that specific anime.
Yes, you're right. There we go. So we're going to T5s. So she does not have a T5. Control C. You can actually just do it this way. So much easier. Control V. Boom. Done. So for her, we're going to go to fandom. So when it comes to T5s, you're not going to be using infos, like the character's info for the description. T5s is like, I love making T5s because now we're doing quotes. And this is a main character. I believe this is Vert. It is. So for her, her quotes should be here. She does not have her quotes here. So we, Green Heart.
She does not have any quotes. Just search it up.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to do. Let me just double check. Usually her quotes, their quotes are here. So we're going to go open a new tab. Type in Green Heart quotes. Spelled that wrong. Let's do this.
Do you specify what anime they're from?
Yeah, because a lot of times, God dang, you don't make me type in this whole thing. Was it Hyper Neptune? She has quotes right here. It was on fandom. It was literally on fandom. Maybe I didn't see it. Wow, it's literally on fandom. So let's just choose a quote that kind of matches the render. So, she's not in her human form, so I don't want to use it. She is in her Green Heart form. Actually, I like this quote. The ugly shall be stamped out by the beautiful. That is how the world works. I like it. Control C. Photoshop, Control V. Now, what I like to do, when it comes to quotes, you can do it one of two ways. You can have quotation marks, which is one way of doing it. This lets you know that it's a quote. I don't really like quotation marks, so I'm not going to do it like that. What I like to do, Control A. Control A. I have big fingers and my keyboard is small. Go up here and I do bold italic. So that also works. So it can either be italic or it can be in quotation marks. Now, darkening is, since my frame is underneath everything, my darkening needs to be fixed. So Control T, and we're going to bring it up with the frame. There we go. Which means we're also going to have to render this out and fix it. So as you go, whenever you're making T5s, you are going to have to do a lot of fixing. Nothing is ever perfect. Even the best card makers have the biggest mistakes. So you already see, as this is rendering out, there's mistakes. So we're just going to go in, click on the character. This is going to be a long video. I'm just letting you guys know. Go down. Nope. Go down. And delete. Can already tell my Discord has a lot of DMs. That's 6, actually. It's not a lot. Now the darkening is there. Alright. Form. She's this is green heart or vert, I believe. Whoops. Control Z. Let's see. She's in her green heart form, so we're just gonna put green heart. This is not her original form. I think this is her goddess form. There you go. Now we need to find the background. So once again, I have folders, backgrounds. So because she's kind of like in a sort of techie type background. I mean, not background. She looks kind of teched up. What we want, this is an airplane right here. What I want to do is have a tech background. So let me see if I have one here. Let's do this because it looks kind of decent. Control C. We are going to put this in the background folder. Control T. Now we might change this later if it doesn't work. Everything's a work in progress. Like I said earlier, you will change your mind later on. So this is blue. We don't want it to be blue because it does not match. So we're gonna go in, go to color overlay. That was hideous. Go to color. And we're going to change this to green. And now it already looks significantly much better. Now, the frame also needs to be changed because this default ABCD alphabet LGBTQ thing does not work. So we need to go in. You're going to go into pattern overlay. Now, I already have some overlay patterns saved in. So I'm just going to change that, and it's already green, so I don't really need to make much changes. But the color it doesn't really match. So let's go ahead, change that to color. Could do hue, but I don't want to do that. Let's make it to where it actually looks kind of decent. Actually, you know what? I'm not sure I like this. I don't like this, so we're going to change it. Maybe. You can ascend. You're welcome to throw out your opinions because they are going to help when they can.
I think that the background kind of matches with the other card you were doing for this series, the duo card. So it's not terrible, but the composition needs a lot of work.
So change the background?
Could change the lighting. You could change the lighting a bit with it to kind of incorporate it more, depending on how you do the name. Like, you know how you did the name for Blackheart? To kind of bring the background into the rest of the thing. You could work with that. Or if you really want to, you could change the background and make it completely different. But this reminds me of your Blackheart card, which you made work. So I trust your vision.
She trusts my vision.
I didn't.
Well, here, let's do this. Let's do this. I want these tabs open. So we're gonna go to this Hanzo. Let's go to tech background, because I do want it to be a tech background. Go to images. So when looking for backgrounds, this is actually the most efficient way of doing it. And we're just gonna copy. We're just gonna keep trying things until it works. Now she's right. When it comes to the card list, these are the 2 cards that was made by me. I think this is what the card she's talking about, the Blackheart card. And I am gonna do something similar. Yeah, I did use this already. So we're gonna do something different. Actually, I think I have a vision of what I want it to be. Tech background. My little brothers are in the background. Not the best. Not the best. So I'm gonna come back to that. Let's work on the stars really quickly.
I think you could work with the background to make it work. I think it's a good base. But at the end of the day, it's your decision.
That's true. If I don't like it, then it's not going to be worth doing. So we're going to come back to the background because I'm struggling with it. So let's work with the stars really quickly. So stars. Look, man, I'm going to be real with you. Stars, the background is not the hardest part. The names, the description, it's not the hardest part. The frame is not even the hardest part. For me, what I think the hardest part is the style, the star styles. Because if nobody likes the stars, then it's just complete dog shit. So we want to go ahead and clear. So what I just did is I clicked on one star, shift, clicked on that, press right click, and then I cleared the layer styles. I can't do it again because I already did. So I cleared the layer styles because what I want to do is I want to edit the entire folder. So here's how I personally do stars, which was taught to me by Seki. Color overlay, which boom, already you would think it's done. But what I want to be the top color overlay is I want it to be either a hue or a overlay. So let's do overlay, and I want it to be white. I want the white overlay to be prevalent. And then I'm going to click on another overlay, and I'm going to make that green. And instead of it being overlay, I can do color burn, which kind of works. It's a little too deep green for me. Or I can do soft light, which is a little too bright. It's up to you. Hard light. This is when you really get to play with it. Color, which I kind of don't like. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Don't do screen. Let's do color burn because it's really deep. Let's see. Let's add another one. We're going to make this white. And we're going to go into soft light. We're going to lower the opacity a little bit. Look at that. Look at that. It already looks pretty dope. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate the group. And you don't have to do this. This is just optional. We are going to clear the layer style. We're going to put this on overlay. Overlay. There we go. And on the stars copy, I'm going to add a stroke. And I'm going to increase the stroke by, let's do 4. And I'm going to put this on overlay. And look at that. I personally like that. I don't know about anybody else. Again, it's just a preference. Let me go ahead and do 3. Now, I could, there we go. I'm going to overprint. So that you see the difference. I'm going to overprint it so it looks a little bit better. Now, I can also, I like it like that. A lot of cards I like to do is add a pattern overlay. Do soft light. Change the, I don't know why it's blue. Oh, I screwed up. Hold on. There we go. Stars, pattern overlay. Go into soft light. And decrease. And there we go. And I can change it how I want to. And now the stars kind of match the background. I like my stars and the background and the frame to match. That way we have a whole thing going on. Now the stars, right now the problem with the stars is that they're really, really bright compared to the rest of the card. So we want to make it a little darker. So what I'm going to do, what I'm going to do is lower the opacity on the soft light and maybe lower the opacity on the overlay, make it a little bit darker. Take this green, let's make it a, let's go here. Let's see what happens if I do this. Actually, this works. This works right here. So now these stars, now personally, I like it. So I do want to add a drop shadow so they pop out more. I'm going to give an explanation as to why in a second. So I wanted to, yeah, let's do it that way. So there's no black in what she's wearing. So let's try to make it white. Or we can make it gold because of her hair. But gold doesn't, green and gold kind of doesn't look good. So let's do white. Lower the opacity. Okay, now I'm just going to play with this a little bit. Increase the distance. Not increase the spread. Distance. Do I want the size to increase? No. Yeah, let's leave it there for now. If I want to change it later, I will. Now, what I like to do also is I'm going to go back into the stars. And since I want everything to match, I'm going to right click on the stars, copy layer style, go into hyper, the series name, and paste layer styles. Now, you see how it looks? It looks like crap. So we're going to go in and get rid of some of these because it doesn't work like stars. Instead of color burn, normal, that green looks absolutely terrible. Let's do, this green looks horrifying. Let's do the background green. There we go. Much better. So it does have the drop shadow. I kind of want it to be kind of like a Star Wars kind of space theme, since she is kind of sitting down riding a ship or whatever it is. So we do want it to pop out more. So the drop shadow, I kind of like it the way it is. So we're going to keep it like that. And we're going to copy this layer style and paste it onto the nickname and form. Okay, so our card is pretty much almost done. I'm going to work on it because that green, bro, that green is hard to read. So we're going to change this a little bit. Actually, we can make this white. We can make that white. And change the color of the drop shadow to green. And copy that onto... So we want to either reduce the green on the... Actually... Nah, let's make it white. Yeah, let's make it white, outer glow. I'm going to make it green. I like this, so I'm going to keep it. Usually you want the form, not the form, but you want the info, the description, and the series name to match. But I'm going to leave it be like this. So, easy. I'm taking care of the easy stuff first, except for the stars, because that's actually really difficult to do. Ultimate, you want to change the color, so we're going to make the ultimate. Usually what card makers do is we keep it white. We keep the U white most of the time. Flame icon, we're going to make that green. So I'm just going to do a color overlay, green, and change it to color. Okay. I really got to change that background. I'm not digging it. So let's do with her name. Her name is Greenheart. Okay. When it comes to names, Placement, name placement is important. So the most common name placement is usually down here. But when you have a character like this, you can also place it. Let's see. I can also place it around her head and kind of make it curve. I'm going to go into that. I might actually do that. Or, like all of my other cards that I've done for this series, I placed it in the background. So Hyper and Neptune. I hate this site needs work when it comes to that. So see, this needs to be redone. But you see how the name is in the background? I kind of want to do that. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, because I kind of want this to be a tech, we need to work on the font. This font is doo-doo. Control A, Lord of the Rings, love the movie, hate the font. So let's see if we, when it comes to fonts, let me go ahead and do this real quick. Let me show you guys something. I always come to this site, Font Space. Ignore the sexy. I was doing that for another card. So let's do tech. Has all different kinds of fonts that you can use. This is stupidly important because you never want to use default fonts. So you do not want default fonts because it's just not looking good. So I want to try the killer tech, which I think I already have. So let's go in. Control A. Why is it coming out like that? There we go. So we're going to go down into Killer Tech. Please tell me I already have it. And we do. Boom. So I want it to blend with the background. So that's going to be really difficult for this card. Because we have to change that background now. So I'm going to move this behind the character. Move it behind the character. There we go. Alright, moving it down. There we go. See, that name already looks pretty dope as it is. So we're going to blend it. So here's what I'm going to do. That was loud. Color overlay. I actually want the name to be white. Not gray. White. White. Oh, it's white because of color. So we're going to make this normal. Again, drop shadow. Not black. We're going to make, I guess the drop shadow will be green. I want to add a pattern overlay to the name, which means we're going to have to get rid of that color overlay. There we go. Pattern. Let's add maybe a tech pattern. There we go. So since I want it to be white, we're going to do it like this. Green heart. Okay. That does not look as good as I wanted it to. Come down, come down. We might have to change the pattern because it's not going to work like that. Maybe. Actually, hold on. Maybe. If we change the background, it might work. Just depends on what color we do. Excuse me. So, this is the point where we have to find a new background, guys. Told you, background. If the backgrounds don't work, bang. It's a rip. Backgrounds and effects are the hardest. Stars, background, and effect is usually the hardest. But backgrounds is usually not that bad. You can usually find it pretty well.
A lot of people actually use arts that already have backgrounds and then just add effects. So that's why backgrounds are hard for a lot of people, including Robbie, because many people don't even use that as a step, because a lot of arts have really nice backgrounds added to them, at which point you render the character and keep the background the way it is, and just have it so those parts are sticking out, and then work with that. But when you're building a card from scratch with a render and no background, you can run into a lot of snags. So there's a lot of trial and error, as you can see with Robbie making this tier 5. Don't be discouraged. That's normal. You'll get there.
Yeah, please don't be discouraged. This amount of mishaps is absolutely normal. No one makes a perfect T5 off the back. If you think they do, you're in a world of hurt from whenever you start making cards. So this would have worked. So let's see. We're going to add a color overlay. No. There we go. Green. And if we do it, that doesn't look bad except for the fact that the name won't work. So if we do it like that, I have to take the pattern overlay off and that would be the card. Which can work. Except to me, personally, it looks boring. I would downvote my own card because it looks boring. Oh, I need to change the info back because we're going to make it white. There's a lot of different colors going on here. So green, white, and gold seems to be the most prevalent colors. No, we do that. I'm going to lower the opacity of the info. I'm also going to do this because the info back is sticking out here. So, yoink, we're going to cut that out. I think I did too much. Yes, I did. Control Z is your best friend. In case you didn't realize. Why does it look like that? That's weird. It's like the frame is kinda... I know what it is. I think... Yeah, I see what it is now. Okay. We're gonna fix that. Actually, let us fix that now. Because that's an error that I want to fix. There we go. Boom. Okay. And boom. There we go. So you're going to come across minor errors whenever you're making a card. To be honest, card looks decent. It doesn't look great. It doesn't look bad. It looks decent. I kind of want the name to be bigger. Let me make sure I'm not using the same font as my other cards. So I'm not. Black Heart is a different font. Iris Heart is definitely a different font. You know what we can do? Let's do this.
I think that you could take it so that green is kind of going up and to the right, and heart is going down and to the right, so that it kind of feels like green is going back to her head and heart is going back the other way, and potentially come off the card slightly. But it's up to you.
If only, you know what? Let's do it this way. Say that, Sin, if you're still here, say that one more time for me, please. Because I got distracted in my own world.
So I was saying you might be able to take green and kind of turn it, rotate it to the left and have it so perspective-wise the G might come out of the card a little bit and the N goes a little bit behind her head. And then the heart can go the opposite direction. So the H is a little bit on her head and the T is coming out a little bit the opposite way on the other side to kind of give a perspective of it's being sucked in through the back. I'm bad at conveying my thoughts.
I see what you're saying. It's just I'm trying to figure out how I would incorporate it. That works. That oddly works. Actually, this card is actually coming out a lot better than I thought it would. I still don't like the background, but we're just going to leave that for now because I don't want to make this video too long. So, effects. Oh, this is where things get stupidly difficult. Effects. Now, for effects, you can go into PNG. Like I was doing a card earlier where I needed Sakura petals. Let me go ahead and close this tab. You can go into PNG and do it that way. I really don't like doing it that way. This is what I usually do for effects. Is I do one or two things. Now, Blaze, who is AFK in the video, or in the, is he here? He's not here. So he taught me this. This is one way you can do effects. You can go into the darkening. If you need effects with the darkening, add a pattern overlay. So this is kind of like techie. This is one way to do effects. And you can mess with it as you go. Increase or decrease the scale. Now for this card, that's not going to work. So I'm not going to do that. But I will change. This is very important. Keep this in mind. Please, please, please. You need a color overlay. The darkening needs to match the card. So put this at normal. And I'm going to decrease the overlay on that. And for me, I like to decrease the overlay on the darkening. But you can only have it go as far as 80%. So I'm going to do 85%. This card actually looks relatively nice. The info, we're going to change that. We're going to change it to green. Perfect. I kind of want to decrease the opacity on the info back a little bit more. There we go. Already, card actually looks pretty dope. Because I think the name is what's making the card look dope. The name in itself is actually really nice. So, effects. Here's what I do for effects. I go to the darkening and I create a new layer. And I want that new layer to be between the darkening and the stars. And I take a brush. Now, like I said earlier, when you can go to PNG or egg and find effects. So if I type in tech, which is actually not going to work, I think it does. It has all of these tech effects that I could use. It works for the most part. These all this is yo, is that a meerkat? Yo, who wants a meerkat? I want a meerkat. This is a really nice effect. I'm not going to use it. I could, but you know what? When it comes to cards, you want to experiment. So let's go ahead and try it. Let's create a new folder called PNG effects. So let's try it. Go here. Whoops. Go back. And I apologize if this video is being a lot longer than you guys intended. But if you are enjoying it, guys, the people who's with the stream, I'm happy. If you are learning something, then I'm happy. Control C. We're going to put this at the layer here because it's so big. God, that is huge. Yeah, this is not going to work as well as I want it to. Let's turn it. Okay, my thing's not working. There we go. Okay, there we go. We're going to turn it at an angle here. Make it come out more. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into here. Take that. Put that on the effect. There we go. We're going to overlay this. And then we're going to add a color overlay. Let's just go into... No, we don't want to do that. Now, it's not bad. It's not good either. So trial and error. Let's make it green, see what happens. Green, light green actually works better. So when it comes to effects, let me go ahead and close it. Number one thing when it comes to effects, do not leave any effects, and I can't stress this enough. Do not go into your eraser. Do not put effects on the face. Leave the face alone, okay? For the most part, you don't want to have it on the hair, but it oddly works a little bit. Now, for beginner cards, this is perfectly fine for beginner cards. For me, it's not going to work. So, what I do is I go to DeviantArt. Now, again, guys, be very careful when it comes to DeviantArt. DeviantArt is a great place to get things. But be very careful because DeviantArt is exactly what its name intends. It's deviance and art. So you're going to come across a lot of lewd and naughty art. So be very, very careful. So I went ahead and downloaded some brushes. I think they are not here because I have a folder for brushes. Keep everything organized. Here you go. This is brushes. All of my brushes. Smoke brush, solid tech rings. That's installed. Perfect. Midnight shadows I don't want. Scary I don't want. Sci-fi. Ooh. Let's do it. Okay, let's try it. So we're going to close the general brushes. We're going to go into close the lightning brushes, tech brushes. Let's see what we got. Yo, already. So we want the brushes, the brush color to be white. And the opacity is normal. I don't want the brushes to be here. We're going to put it here. So we are going to put it, let's do it here. Nope. Let's lower the opacity. So that's too low. So again, everything is trial and error. That might work. Let's put one here. Okay, so let's work with another brush. Nope. That looks nice, but nope. These are all circle brushes. So I might not use... Let's see what this looks like. Actually, hold on. Let me do this real quick. Because I'm getting inspired. Like I said, brushes are like the best thing. I swear. If I do that with the green heart, I kind of like that. So because I like that, let's get rid of this one. Alright. Brushes. Let's create a new layer. Layer 9. Let's create a new layer because I want to do something with this. Let's do that. All right, cool. Control T. We're gonna flip it. I guess we're gonna put it there. Put it underneath her. Kind of works. Not really. So it might have to be under the frame. I got pinged. What happened? Clipping. Wait. I don't know about this. But that effect. Try clipping it to the darkening. Which effect, tell me? You mean this one? Clipping it to the darkening? I mean, I can. That's a good idea. It works pretty nicely. Yo, this card is really coming together. It's really coming now. Because this looks like it's gonna stick out. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna completely start over because now I have something I want to do, and in order to do that, we need to increase the opacity to 100%, and we're gonna have it here. Okay. So we're gonna put this underneath her, which is fine, but I do want it inside the frame, so we might have to put it in background, or do we want it above background? Above frame, most likely. I want it under the name. Actually, I like that, so we're gonna do that. So where's the other one? Okay. So we're going to delete this. We're going to take this, duplicate layer. Now, it is important to name your layers, guys. I'm not doing that because I'm being lazy. But it's actually really vital that you name your layers. Now, some of you may like that, some of you may not. I am going to mess with it a little bit. Okay, so let's do this. We're going to lower the opacity just a tad bit. There we go. Let's add a drop shadow to it. There we go. I don't think I need to add a gradient. I don't think I need to add a no, pattern's just not going to work. Okay, I like that. So we're going to copy the layer style. Go up. Paste layer style, and boom. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a T5. Now, it might need a little bit more effects. So, I like it the way it is. You guys tell me what you think.
Robbie.
Oh, you scared the crap out of me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've been here the entire time. Robbie, I think that it's good, but the series name might need a little bit of tweaking because it's very bright and kind of hard to read from what I'm looking at. You might want to add a little bit to make that a little bit more readable. But besides that, it's not bad.
Let's try making it white and see what happens. Just so it can match. I can't do it. I can't do it. The white's just not working out for me. That green is heavy, heavy, heavy. Oh, you know what? Here's what I can do. I messed up somehow. There we go. Here's what I can do. Let's add a stroke to the outside. Haha, there we go. And it stands out. Now I'm wondering, since we did that here, if I don't like it, I'll change it. If we do that to the others, what would it look like? Not bad. Not pretty either. So,
yeah, the description's not readable because it's fusing in.
Yeah, so let's do this. We're going to go into the stroke and lower the opacity. That doesn't help, so let's get rid of the stroke. Let's see. I got pings. What's up? T6 tutorial for real? When I can make T6s, I'll do a tutorial. Let's get rid of the pattern. Because the pattern, you can't see patterns on those anyways. Drop shadow is fine. Let's stick with white on this one. I have an idea. This is what we're gonna do. Now, I don't know how other card makers do it. I kind of do it differently. But the drop shadow, we're gonna make it green. That's fine. Here's what we're going to do. So I'm going to duplicate this twice. I'm going to name this ugly. And I'm going to duplicate the description again. And I'm going to name this Beautiful. Beautiful. There's a reason why I'm doing this. You'll see in a second. Some of you may have already figured it out. So, I'm going to go into... Because whenever you're making cards, this is ugly. So we're going to get rid of all of this. Cool. So I'm going to change this to black so I can see it. There we go. So what we're going to do, Control T. So I'm going to move it over to where ugly should be. There we go. And I'm using the dialogue. I don't think that's called the dialogue. I'm using the arrow keys to move it because I don't want to accidentally move it up a couple of pixels and mess it up. There we go. So the ugly is where it needs to be. So we go into the description. And we're going to get rid of ugly. I messed that up. Go into the description again. I did beautiful. It's not. Oh, actually, let's do beautiful really quickly. It is messing me up. Okay. We want it to be lowercase. I have a bad habit of making things uppercase. So we're going to move that over. To where beautiful should be. This is kind of how I do it. I know a lot of people do it differently, but this is the way I like to do it. I know there's easier ways. I'm 100% sure there is. But I do it differently because it's just how I work. It's just how I roll. Let's get rid of that. Whoops. So I want this to look natural. There we go. Cool. So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take ugly, and we're going to change the fonts. So I want something kind of like ugly. Boom. Beautiful. I want it to be beautiful. So let's find something. Yeah, that works. That works for me. Alright, so let's change. Let's make this like kind of like a pretty green. Or we can make it. Nah, we haven't used any gold in this, so I don't think using gold right here would work. Green has never been a pretty color for me. So using it kind of irritates me. Go into ugly, and I want ugly to actually quite literally be an ugly green. That is a hideous looking green. And I'm taking the color from the stars, if you can't tell. Oh, whoops, there you go. So we're gonna add a drop shadow. The drop shadow is green. Let's add a white drop shadow so you can see it. Perfect. Increase the opacity. Okay, don't want to add a pattern overlay. If I do a pattern overlay, this needs to be color. Pattern overlay. Pause. If I do normal, yeah. So we want this to be ugly. So like a grunge ugly. Yeah, we want this to be hideous. Oh my god, that looks absolutely horrific. Yeah, let's do that. So that looks absolutely horrendous. So let's go to beautiful. Also add a drop shadow. Or change the drop shadow to white. And I don't know what we can do to make this beautiful. Maybe a gradient? Let's do a green gradient. Let's try that really quickly. So change this to soft light maybe. Change the gradient into a normal. Come over. There we go. And let's play around with it a little bit. Just mess with the scale. No, I want the scale to be all the way up. Come on now. Almost. There we go. Perfect. So I don't like that green. So let's change this green color into... That's nasty, ugly. Holy crap, that's nasty. I can roll with that. Still an ugly green. But I can work with that. Let's add a stroke and see what that does. Inside. Nah, stroke doesn't work. Inner shadow. Inner shadow looks like it works. Yeah, I like that. Already looks like a really decent card. Not the best, but not ugly either. Add some particles. Let's check it out and see what happens. Dust, probably. The smoke won't work. Particles. Oh, well, here, let me say this really quickly. When it comes to particles, be careful. When you're making T5s, my number one piece of advice is this. Please, for the love of all things beautiful, holy, and anime. Let's just say that. Avoid using sparkles for the love of God. I think I said that earlier. Please avoid using sparkles in your cards. Because if bruh, let's just go into T5s real quick. Let's just do T5s. For the love of God. Look at all of these sparkles. Look at it. Look at all, bruh. It's everywhere. It is everywhere. Look at it. Find new effects. It's everywhere, bro. Literally every page has a T5 where some card maker, that's not sparkles. I know that's supposed to be like sparks or whatnot. That's snow. It's still kind of lazy in my opinion. This is a really nice card. That's snow. So I'm not going to be mad at it. What is this? Sparks, cinders. It's cinders. For the love of God, guys, do not use sparkles. Please do not. If you can avoid it, I know some cards, for example, let me find an example real quick, where sparkles are like absolutely necessary. No, you could have found a better effects here. Sparkles is just a no-go. Sakura petals are cool, but these little sparkles, come on now. Okay, for this, for example, she's kind of like a preppy girl, makeup, picture. Sparkles kind of make sense. And it's not like heavily present. So this, I'm kind of cool with the sparkles. But guys, like please. For the love of God, let's go to my cards real quick.
If you ever need an example for a good tier 5 maker, Saki is very reliable for inspiration. You can always DM her if you need anything, or just go to her profile and look at some of the tier 5 she's made. They're very good. She knows what she's doing. So she's a good source of information or concepts besides just sparkles.
Yeah. That's another thing. I'm glad Sen brought that up. Is whenever you're making cards, it is very important to reach out to other card makers. This T5 you're looking at is one of my biggest regrets in this game. It is literally my biggest regret because it's the ugliest T5 probably in the entire game. I hate this card with a passion, and I do plan on redoing it. But you see, there's sparkles, man, and the sparkles make absolutely no sense. And I'm glad I came a long way from making cards like this, because this is just a ugly card. So stars was probably the only good thing about this card. Even the name is garbage. The frame is garbage. The background's okay. The render is okay, but just the way that the composition of this card is just not there. The leaf effects, sure, but I could have found better effects. So just so I'm not dissing other people's cards, this was made by me. I'm using my own card as an example. This is an absolute garbage card. So please, sparkles, no, please go to other card makers and you can find better effects. Thank you for whoever told me to clip this to the darkening. It actually looks really good. So Sin, do you think this needs any more effects, or is it good as it is?
I think that you should make the info easier to read, because right now it's basically invisible, but effects wise I think it's good.
Okay. Let's not make it green then. Let's just make it white. I didn't want to do it white because it was basic, but I might have to. And you know what, guys? I think that's it. I do want to add more effects to this. So if you want to stay as I play around with this, by all means, you can stay and watch me experiment. But this is pretty much how a good T5 looks. This actually works really well. But I do want to make it a little bit better. I plan on making it better. But for the most part, this is how you make a T5. I am going to play with the stars because they are a little wonky. The stars, I'm gonna add probably a drop shadow or something to the name. I'm gonna try to play around with some more tech effects, but overall the card is good. This card is good enough to be submitted. Like, if you submit this to HQ, it is good enough for it to be there. Now I do wish Seki was here, Seki or Narc was here, because they give absolutely amazing advice. But everybody who's here in chat, go ahead and tell me what you think of the card. Do you want to what while we're still here and we're still working on it, is there any changes that you would like to see? I'm gonna go ahead and let's do this so y'all can see it. Put that there, and let's put Discord here. Add out of gun to the eyes. I hate you. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. No, it's not happening. Nobody else besides that joke of a nothing you want to see changed. It's missing boat. Well, what exactly do you want me to do? I think her Boba's is pretty out there. Now, granted, this is not the green heart render I wanted to use, but unfortunately, her outfits are kind of really exposing. Yeah, really spicy. So I tried to find the cleanest one that I can find that'll be in game, because a lot of her art is like summer art, and we can't really put that in game as much as I want to. The form looks hard
We
to
have
read. You say what, son?
we just need to wait for an event to use that.
Yeah.
Someone DM'd me during your stream and asked me to remind you to preface that people should always be checking events too when looking for cards, because a lot of the time in the past people have used renders for event that could have been normal cards and vice versa. One example is quintessential quintuplets. The normal tier 5s for them are all Valentine's renders. So Valentine's renders cannot be used for them. Stuff like that. Please avoid doing that. Please. It's really painful.
Okay, the form. I went ahead and fixed the form so you can read it. Yeah. So whenever you're looking for art, or whenever you're making art, because I've made this mistake too with some T4s, make sure it's preferable if you use their original form for T4s and below. That way, the rest of their forms can be used for other things like T5s or for events. So if you have an art of a T5 where she's in a wedding dress and it's a romance anime, you could use it, but just keep in mind that if you do, then that art can't be used for Valentine's. So I mentioned that before. The stars are. I'm gonna work on the stars because I don't like the stars. The stars are just kind of the stars are wilding right now. And I think I know what the problem is. The stars are just bruh. It looked good when I did it, but since I changed everything to be a little light, now the stars look a little too dark. So yeah, when you're working on T5s, as you go along, you know what? Let's do it right now. So close with this. Yeah, I kind of want that to be there. So let's fuck with the stars real quick. So I think this is the main reason it's on color burn. So let's do hard. Oh God, no. Vivid light. Let's do color. Nah, it's too bright. Color burn might have actually been the best thing. Why do I always click on screen? Pen light. Pen light doesn't look too bad. If I was to, let's see. Yeah, if I was to lower the, nah, it doesn't work. Let's go back to color burn, because that actually worked. Let's take off the pattern overlay and see what, nah. Soft light. So, yeah, this is where the problem is. So I'm trying to find a area of green that works. Everything is such a light green that we might... Oh, you know what? Let's do this. Hold on. That's not what I want to do. Let's change the overlay to a green as well. There we go. Let's mess with the opacity. Yeah, full opacity. If we take the soft light, yeah, let's add some. We need to add white to it. I kind of want to see what that is. Tri-star is like, I'm gonna say no for one reason. I hate those stars. Nothing against Seki. Seki is a great card maker, absolutely phenomenal. I hate those stars. Again, nothing against Seki. I can't with these stars. And I mean, it works for this character, but these stars are not going to work for this. It's too... Hold on. I'm thinking, I'm getting inspired. I'm trying to see What can I do with these stars? It sucks because with T5s you can't break the rules and mess with the stars, like change the shape of the stars too much. The thing is, the card is good because that was when they didn't do the Boba buff, Boba nerf. So no more quality cards. I wouldn't say no more quality cards. I'd say less fan servicey. No, let's keep that on like 3. Keep throwing out ideas, guys. If you see something you like, if you see something you don't like, do comment down below. Everybody who's helped out with this card, also DM me so your name can also be part of this. I want everybody to take part of this. This isn't going to be my card. This is everybody's card. So if you want your name on this card, not only DM me, but also comment down below. You need to actually give feedback and help out with it. Man DM'd me really quick. I ain't even see you typing. How hold on. Okay. It's missing boot, man. That's not helping. This man DM'd so quick but didn't actually give any is missing boot. Okay, the form's a bit hard to read. You gotta give me more than that for your name to be on there. Give me more. You gotta give me more. Broke, I've seen you type. Joe, I've seen you type. Learning live 2D. Do you have a Eternal? Can I just call you Eternal? I think that works better. Darkening. Oh, darker. Wait, darkening. No, we're not gonna mess with the darkening. The darkening is fine. I personally like the darkening. Well, you know what? Here, let's take your advice. Let's see what happens. Let's put the opacity. Let's put it up. Is that what you mean? Increase the opacity? That actually really didn't do much. Yeah? Okay. Okay, color overlay. Oh, hell no. There we go. Okay. Now we still need to work on the stars because the stars are stupidly bright. They are stupidly bright. This is a stroke. Oh Lord, no. No. Wrong one. This is stars copy. Yeah, the stroke is definitely staying there. Yo, my headset is loud. Inner shadow or no? I kind of like the inner shadow, but should it? Inner shadow on.
Keep the inner shadow.
Keep the inner shadow? Okay. Drop shadow, let's see. Nah, I want the drop shadow. I think the color, star's color can match the darker green of her outfit. The stars are darker green. How dark do you want it to be? This is a dark green that the stars are currently. So, how dark do you want it to be? Real talk. Because it can be 3 shades of green. It can be the green that matches the beautiful. It can be the green that literally is right now, which matches everything else. Or it can be the light green that matches her sleeves. A gradient's not a bad idea. Now, you have to be very careful using gradients. I typically don't use gradients unless I only use gradients when it's like a duo card, and I've gotten a lot better at making duo cards. This is fine. Actually, no. I want the white to be a little bit more prevalent. So let's do that. Scale. Scale is fine. Let's do hard light for hard light. There we go. Increase the opacity. Okay. Okay, we want to decrease the opacity a little bit more. But what's the use of a... You think that looks good with the gradient like that? Just a soft overlay gradient? Wait. Yeah, it ain't too bright, it ain't too dark, but it's ugly? He said, and ugly. Or are you saying it ain't too dark and ugly? Okay. What was your name again? Moon? It was Moon something. Eternal. Thoughts? I'm gonna get your name. I'm gonna learn it. Thoughts? Joe for bro. Joe bro fo bro. Joe bro fo bro. You just trying to be a rapper, huh? Joe fo bro fo. Joe bro fo bro. That man took every word he could to make his name rhyme. You just gotta add hoes to it. Hoes LMAO. There you go. Now you're a rapper. Top half really looks really good, but I'm not vibe from the bottom half. Well, what do you want to see done with the bottom half? Someone said that they don't feel the bottom half. The stars. Okay, throw out ideas. What do you want to see done with the stars? One person says the stars is good. No, two people said I didn't. Joe just says I like it. That's not real feedback. Yay, beautiful, hard to read. You gotta say it in chat, homie. Apotheosis forever and Mofan. If you guys are just silent watchers, I'm not mad at it if you are. You need to type in card chat, not game chat, if that's where you're typing.
The second you say people who give you feedback would be added to the card, I stopped talking because I don't want my name on any tier 5.
Oh, no. I know you probably don't want your name on the card, so it's fine.
Alright. Let me see them.
But I want to give them an opportunity to help out, and then whenever it goes up on site, because this looks like, it almost looked like an Insta approval. I'm just going to say, if it does get approved almost instantly, I want their names to be there, because they also took part in making this card. This isn't just my card, it's everybody's.
Alright, so then DM me their names and IDs, and I will add them when it goes live.
Okay, so again, everyone who's helping out with this card, send me a DM. Like, right now. I already have a DM from Broke. I don't have a DM from anyone else. So Joe and Eternal, thank you. Send me your DMs. Yay, I know you want your name on this card, but you got to give me more than what you've been giving me. I'm not just going to throw names out there when you only said like one or two things. Okay. Okay, so I don't know if it may be on purpose, but it kind of bothers me a slight bit that the right side of the stars are right than the left. So what that is called, I know what you're talking about. What that is called is a gradient overlay. Stop it. That's called a gradient, and this is what it does. So it adds it takes two colors and kind of I don't know what the right term is for it.
Blends and fuses them.
Yeah, a fuse blend. I like that. A fuse blend. Sounds like a nice cup of Joe. A fuse blend Joe. Anyway, so if I take it off, that's what we're gonna get. So it's all one color, but if I add the gradient, it's gonna do. So for example, let me open one of my old cards so you can get a better idea. Brushes. All of my T5s are kind of on site, so it's fine. This is my best card that will never be seen in game. So for example, you see how the gradient is? What the hell? There you go. See how the gradient is right here? The colors are kind of, you got purple going on here, and then it goes down to blue. This was a really clean card. I really like this. This was really clean. They did this card. What? You think? Oh, they did this card dirty. This one. Wait, Sin, which one are you talking about? Oh, yeah, they did. This was literally the best card that has ever been made, but it would never be in game. This was done really dirty. It's really sad. But yeah, if you look here, this is a gradient layer right here. So if I turn that off, you see how the stars are changing, because it was all blue. We added a gradient. What's this thing called? A gradient. Yeah, we took the gradient tool. We did it there. Another gradient tool right here. Another gradient. This is not. I think this was a brush, not really a gradient. How come it won't be in game? It won't be in game because mistakes were made. So even though the character's name Hyordi is in the anime, this character is not Hyordi. This character is not in the anime. It's within the game. Like the actual Blue Reflection game. Not the Blue Reflection anime. The only problem is, I think this character's name is Ai. So Hyordi and Ai look exactly alike. And I'm not bugging. They look exactly the same. So when I found the art, I thought it was Hyordi. And then when we looked at the source art, it wasn't. So because of that, it can't be in game because it's not the actual character. And again, best card, I think, me and Seki. Was it me and Seki? No, me and Narc. Me, Janesh, and Narc worked on this card, and it will never be in game. The greatest card, the greatest collab I've ever done will never be in game. Eternal's like, it's so good. Cry. Yeah, I cried too. So yeah, you see, this is what the gradient kind of does. It takes one side, makes it one color, and then as you go, that color fades into another color. So purple kind of fading into blue. I look at this card and I cry every single time. So that's what the gradient is doing here. The gradient overlay is taking one side and it's slowly blending into another color. So we can take it off, but then the stars go back to looking like doo-doo. Stars actually look nice like that. So there was a piece of advice given earlier. Try something like this. It doesn't have a lot of effects, but really clean. This card is stupidly clean, man. It's really clean. Here's the reason why that card works and why it probably won't work with this one. Here's the reason. One, this character I've never seen K-On, so correct me if I'm wrong. But K-On is about music, and it's also, I'm assuming she really likes cats. So that was incorporated really well within this card, right? In this card, that won't really work too much. I've watched Hyperdimension Neptunia, and I remember seeing this character. I don't remember what she likes, but if I understand correctly, that won't work with this card. I think she likes sweets. Now we could add like chocolate cake and ice cream and crap like that, but as you can see with the background, the name, and the quote, if we add stuff like that, it's gonna throw the whole card off. And see, even with the render, so what we can do is, like I said earlier, is we can take a brush, create a new layer. We can take a brush and we can add effects. Like, what is this? Nah, that's not gonna work. It looks nice. Nope. Who's the MC of this anime? I don't want to talk about it. The reason why I don't want to talk about it is because, you know what? Screw it. They made her a T5. That's why I didn't want to talk about it. They made the main character. Technically, if we really want to get technical, I hate this, bro. Whenever you go back, it goes back to like all of the cards and not the T5s you originally look at. So technically, she's a T6. She's a T5 for sure. She can be a T6 duo and a T5 solo. Well, she has a T5, so she can become a duo T6. And I plan on making more cards within the series, which is why I'm making this one, because this is going to be added, hopefully, if the team approves this, this is going to be added to the game. So it might be looking better without the outer glow. The outer glow where? On the stars? On the let's try it. There is no outer glow, by the way. I think you're talking about the drop shadow. It does look better without the drop shadow. You're right. You're absolutely right. It looks better without the drop shadow. I'm curious about something. Dang, I do want the drop shadow. I'm conflicted because I like it and I don't like it. God dang, man. I like it and I don't like it. Same. Because I know if I submit this card, the main complaint is that they're going to be like, why is the drop shadow black when there's no black in the card? So if I make it, I can't do white. If I make it a little green-ish, maybe a little dark green. There we go. I think that works. Yeah, that works. Yeah, that actually does work. Yeah, that drop shadow looks dope. Now, I do want to fuck with the name a little bit. Because the name does look good. I love the name. But, let's see. The drop shadow. Huh. Let me see something really quick. If I had a stroke, this is a terrible idea. Oh my God, no. Oh God, that's terrible. Oh no, no, we not doing that. Let me not mess that up. No, Lord Jesus, absolutely not. An emboss with a subtle gradient on what? Oh, an emboss on the name. Okay, we would have to lower the. Okay, yeah. Inner bevel. Sorry, no. I don't want to mess with that because I know what that is. I'm gonna be real with you. It's not it, Chief. Oh, I take it back. Maybe. Hold on. Let's lower it a little bit. Maybe. I think right there. Bro, I don't know, man, because now the top is looking extremely Star Warsy, which I know was kind of our objective. I know that was kind of our objective here. It looks so Star Warsy. Like I'm literally hearing the Star Wars theme go off in my head. Dun 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 dun.
Robbie. Waifu Wars.
Yeah, waifu wars. Yo. Am I the only one who's not hearing it? Because I can hear the Star Wars thing.
I'm hearing it.
You know what?
God
Just for the shits and giggles, we're gonna leave it like that. I'm digging it. We're gonna leave it. Copy layer style. We're gonna go to heart. We're gonna paste it. Dun 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 dun. Ah, y'all kill me, bro. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's great. That's great. I'm gonna leave it like that. Personally, I don't think it looks that great, but I'm gonna leave it and see what team thinks. If team says change it, then we'll change it. Oh my God, this is great. This is beautiful. What is this? Soul art. Interesting. Interesting. I'm gonna check that out later. The frame hand? What do you mean by frame hand? As in like make her hand come out the frame? I can't because I think her hand comes out like further. Yeah, I wasn't planning on it. Bro, this whole card is just, I don't know if it's Star Wars or Star Trek, but like look at the name down here. It's popping out like the intro to Star Wars. Waifu Wars. Star Wars over Star Trek. I mean, yeah. But that chick who played I can't remember her name for the life of me in Star Trek, one of the main characters, the black chick in Star Trek, you know who I'm talking about. Absolute baddie. Absolute baddie. It's the same chick who was in Guardians of the Galaxy. Some of y'all know who I'm talking about. She's an absolute baddie, bro. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Not the Asian chick. This was awesome. The finger roll up. Oh, her. Absolute, bro. Not the alien form. I'm just talking about the actress who plays her. She's so beautiful. So beautiful. Okay, let's focus, because now we went from 2D to 3D. Let's focus. I think the card looks really good. Is there anybody else who has any grievances? Anything you want to see be changed? Speak now or forever hold your peace. You got 10 seconds to say something. If you don't like the card. Man, look, yay, I can't have your name on here, man. You didn't give any constructive criticism. All you said was more boba. That's not, I can't do that. Series names looks kind of odd. Define odd. You said say something. That's not what I mean. You did that on purpose. You're not able to read it properly. Okay, give me a second. Let's see. Nah, the stream is showing the same thing. Why is there a pattern overlay here? Literally does nothing. Huh? Oh, yeah. And an anime for what the hell is this? Oh. Wow. Where have I seen this? I feel like I've seen this before. Episode 60. Episode 69. Really? The Rise of the Sin, did you make this? I feel like you just now made that. She just now made that. There's no way. There's no way. She just now made that. Wow. She took the time. I hate you. Oh my god. No. Nah, we're not going to add a bevel there. Bevel's not going to work. No texture there needed. Pin that? Yeah, on God, pin it. Let's see. Yeah, maybe we just get rid of the drop shadow on the hype on this one. Either we get rid of the drop shadow, or since because it is a fuck's sake, let's just add a dark green drop shadow. Just do the same thing we did earlier. You can't see the drop shadow at all. Oh, you know why? Because it's blending in with the rest of everything here. So if we make it black, there we go. It's green, all right? It's just a really, really dark green, all right? That's what we're going to say. So let's lower it a little bit. There we go. That should work. I'm going to be real with you. The name does not look good with that bevel. The longer you look at it, the less good it looks. Oh my gosh. Drop shadow in the description. We can. I think it has a drop shadow. Yeah, it has a drop shadow. So let's just increase. Yo, my thing be bugging sometimes. Make it a really, really dark green. Yeah, there we go. Nope. Let's do it there. Maybe increase the size. Yep, right there. And we're gonna have to do the same thing with beautiful and ugly. So, ugly is fine. Beautiful we want to make. Oh no, we were on beautiful. Let's make the drop shadow. Yeah. Now we cooking with gas. We want ugly to be ugly. Like, seriously ugly. So that works. So let me also do this real quick. There we go. Let's add a period. So we're going to do this really quickly. There we go. Because we need a period here. Because it is a sentence. There we go. So we need there to be a period. And I know the period's going to look... Period is going to look a little off. But there has to be a period there. Because that's a full-on sentence. Yeah. Unless we make it into a comma. Nah, we're not going to make it into a comma. Okay. All good? Right side. So I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the nickname in the form. So change the drop shadow on that one as well. I got you. I know what you're talking about. Look at Spruce. Look at Spruce. Wish I could join. No one said you couldn't join. Stop being a Nancy. What is it? A downer. All right. Done deal. Let's just go ahead and fulfill the opacity. Boom. Look at that. Look at that, man. Negative Nancy. Thank you. There you go. You know what? It is negative. Unmute your mic. Oh, he's not even here.
Robbie.
What's up?
I'm back. Sorry about that.
Yeah. We didn't. You disappeared, and we didn't complete an entire T5 without you. That's what happened. That's what happened. Your name is not going on this because we did it. Me, Joe, Eternal, and Broke. We did this without you because you decided to go AFK and eat donuts. That's what you decided to do. All right. Well, well, hold on. Let me watch this. A long time ago in an anime far, far away. Sin has too much time on her hands. That's what this looks like. Man said, I'm in class. That sounds like a personal problem. Class for me don't start till Tuesday. The rise of the boba. I feel like you need to pin this, Sen. Rob, wait, what? Opponent of boba was said thigh revolution full swing. The boba
What are you laughing at?
Wow.
By the way,
so
try
stupid.
to add some other colors to the card, maybe.
How many colors you want me to add?
It's so much green going on in the card. What do you want me to say?
Green? I'm seeing a combination of green and white.
Yeah, well, white is... Okay, white might be a color, but it's not that much of a color.
Let me guess. You want me to throw some pink in there. That's what you want me to do. You see the pink on the outlines and she's like...
no, not
she
pink.
saw the pink in the Barbie song. I'm a Barbie girl. See, that's what happened. You saw the pink and you got excited.
I was gonna suggest yellow.
Okay, where would I put the yellow?
Let's see.
Because there's
Okay,
already.
you see that?
Go ahead.
Okay, you see the descriptions. You can't really read the second word that you.
That's on purpose.
You had changed.
It's supposed to be ugly.
You're supposed to be able to read the words. You can't read the second word.
Nobody wants to see anything ugly. That's on purpose. It's like.
Well, here's my thing. The frame is blending in with the background.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not supposed to do that.
That's why it has a inner shadow, so it doesn't blend in so much.
It still looks like it's blending in.
You know what? I know what she wants me to do. Thank you. Nice ASMR. Thank you. I know what she wants me to do, guys. This is what she wants me to do. Watch this. That's what she wants me to do.
No, ew, that looks disgusting. Ew. Do yellow.
She wants me to add in this pink.
No, I said yellow.
That looks hideous.
I heard you, Mom.
Pause. I ain't got no kids, and I'm definitely not a female. Who the hell are you calling mommy?
I'm talking to my mom.
There's going to be a lot of editing in this video now.
Yeah, there is. Well, no, the video already. It's already done. I'm just doing like a.
Y'all making me want to slap somebody so hard right now.
Nah, the yellow's not gonna work. Yoink.
Well, I have nothing else to tell you because your thing is going to be downvoted by saying the frame is blending in with the background.
How do you know that?
Dude, you're
because
literally
I've done it.
made a card where it had no frame.
Yeah, there was a Christmas card with no frame. Let's be flexible.
I'm sorry.
The Nico Robin, was it Nico Robin?
Oh,
It was
okay.
Nico Robin.
That's a comp card. That's a whole.
See.
The only people who I know can do 3D is, let's see, it's Tranuka and Chalma. That's it. Nobody else can do 3D.
Does that frame work for you, Yukina?
I muted Yukina, but I could still hear her.
I can hear Stan screaming in the background. Tell Sen to unmute me.
Cypher's mad.
I'm not gonna add. So we're cool. We're cool with this card, guys. We're good. No, nothing else.
Submit it.
I should submit it. I will submit it because this looks really good. I think I gave you guys some decent advice on where to go. So if you're still watching my stream, for fonts, I always use Font Space. This is where I go for fonts. For effects, you can use PNG. They always have like decent fonts. Or you can go to DeviantArt for effects. You can also go to DeviantArt for brushes. They always, and I kid you not, they always have brushes and patterns for frames. If you want, what's it called? If you want other patterns, I have like a crap ton because like there's 254 patterns here, 28, 51, 94. Like I have a lot of patterns. So if you want more patterns, by all means. If you did not know this, I'm gonna go ahead and show it to you now. There is something you can do. So let's go into my PNG effects. In case you did not know this, you can go take a regular picture. You can release the lock. So what you do here is you click on edit, go to define pattern. It's gonna say fire. What fire? We're just gonna leave it fire 2 because I think I have a fire 1. And that's gonna be we define the pattern, right? We go into the frame, And right here on pattern overlay, it's already there. It's right there. Fire 2. So if I remove the color overlay, boom, you see? Already there. So that's another way you can add patterns. So if you don't have excuse me, if you don't know where to find patterns, you can make your own. You can literally make your own. So that's just another piece of advice for those who don't know. And again, if you need help with anything, my DMs are always open. Sin's DMs are open for the most part. You can her DMs are open. Just reach out. You can always go into card chat. Card chat, I would look, to be honest, DM people. DM me, DM Sin. You can DM us, because if you put it in card chat, the downside of asking for advice in card chat is you're going to get a lot of controversial suggestions. So one person might like your stars. Like these stars, we all agree these are good, right? Somebody else might say, oh, well, I don't like it. And then they're going to come in and be like, you're going to end up changing something that's really good. So be very careful when asking for advice in card chat. Here's another thing I'm going to say. And this is my biggest piece of advice. Even if someone on team, like if you submit a T5, let's say you get level up to T5s. If you have a vision for your card, do not let team, do not let me, do not let anybody change your vision. As long as it looks good and it works with the format of the character, the background, the color schemes, and the composition, as long as it works, you don't have to change a goddamn thing. Understand what I'm saying? So if someone's like, I don't like, listen to me carefully. If you get feedback on a T5 that's like, I don't like, if it starts with I don't like, ignore it, because that's not feedback. You understand what I'm saying? Whenever you get feedback on cards, listen very carefully. Only take the feedback that actually is feedback. I'm telling you this because some of the best card makers give absolute garbage feedback. So, if you try to take everybody's feedback seriously, your card is going to end up looking like this. That's what your card is going to end up looking like. This is not my card, by the way. I mean, my name is on the card, but this is a card that team made. I changed this card so much because team kept telling me to change things, that this is the outcome of the card. This is what had happened. And it's an absolute garbage dog shit card. We all agree, right? This card is garbage. It's absolute. The frame is terrible. Stars are the only good thing about this card. Everything else is just absolute dog. So, with that being said, the render is fine. I'm actually cool with the render. The render is cool. The render in the stars and the background is the only thing that works. Everything else is just. This is not my card. This is what happens when you take teams' feedback too seriously, and you're not exempt for this because I saw your feedback. You're part of this too. So, that's just a piece of advice from a person who's on team. Don't take everything that team says seriously. Only take if it's from Janesh, Narc, Seki, and I'm not even gonna say myself because I don't know. I give good feedback, but I mean it's always my feedback is usually always optional because I don't want to. If you have a vision for a card, I'm not gonna change your vision. I'm not gonna give you feedback to change your vision of the card. If something looks bad, I'll just give you advice that you should or should not change it. If you choose not to change it, that's on you. So.
May I add?
Go ahead.
If someone is giving you feedback that is directly contradictory to what you're trying to portray with the card, but you personally don't think the card looks good either, don't follow their feedback thinking that going against your original vision is going to fix it. Just work on another card for the time, save that, and when you learn the skills that can help you with that original idea that you wanted, go back, kick ass on it, and show team what you originally wanted that card to look like. Show them your vision and say, yeah, your feedback that was completely different than what I was going for. No, screw that. This is what I wanted to show you. Look at how amazing it is, and then get it into game.
There you go. She pretty much summed up everything I was saying. There you go. So, Broke, I know that you're actually at the level to where you can submit T5s. I don't know about anybody else. I do know that you're at that level. I have seen some of your cards. They're really good. They could use some, they could use some fixes here or there. But that Zeus card looks good. It looks, not Zeus, sorry. Who was it? Thor. Yeah, your Thor card looks good. Also, make sure Thor is a T5 and not a T6. So yeah, guys. That's it, to be honest. I kind of want to make another card because I'm kind of motivated, but I don't have any renders to make.
Someone DM'd me a beautiful render earlier, but I don't know if it's the style you'd want to mess with. It's very different than your normal style. It's beautiful art.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I'll send you it.
Okay. I'll look at it on my phone because I don't want to open our DMs. Our DMs
that is a very good decision.
Yeah, our DMs are not the most holy.
Hey,
actually,
they're holy today. It's just got information that you can't leak.
Yeah. This is actually, I think somebody sent me this render earlier.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
It's really good. The only problem is I haven't seen the anime. And, oh, there we go. Something else for you guys. Please, for the love of all things holy. If you're going to make a card, watch the anime. Do not make a card if you've never seen the anime. Because two things are going to happen. One, your card most likely won't match the character. Okay. Yeah, this card, guys. I appreciate you guys. And coming out and coming up with this card, helping out. So everybody who participated in this card, your name will be on it. And I think what I'm going to do, I'm not going to do it on the same time that Spruce is doing it. And I'm not going to do it at the same time Yukina is doing it. But once a week, I'm going to come out and I'll announce it. And then everybody who wants to is going to help make a T5. And those who help make that T5, your name will go on the card. But this is going to be like an easy way for new card makers, or those here who want to get an idea on how to make cards. This is going to be a way for us to come together, for us to throw out ideas, for us to work together. It's an absolute beautiful thing that I want to see going. If you want to do it, by all means, let's go do it. Hoshiko, I didn't participate. It's your fault. You came late. You were late. I want to
know how to make cards also.
Shut up. I hate you. Shut up. You make like god tier JoJo cards. Nobody can touch you on JoJo cards.
Hey, yo.
Just no one can touch you. I don't even think Janesh can touch you on JoJo cards, and that's a bold statement.
Janesh doesn't have the experience with JoJo yet.
Yeah,
he's scared of JoJo.
Yeah. So keep in mind, like Hoshiko, I know I'm kind of calling him out. He came late, so he doesn't get his chance to put his name on this card. But if you see me make an announcement, I'm always gonna make an announcement like either a day ahead, or I'm gonna make an announcement hours beforehand in the, where is it? I'm blind. Card updates. Yeah. I'm always going to put an announcement here, for example. And then I'm going to be in card stream. I'm always going to be in card stream 1 hour before I start so I can set everything up. And then when I start, everybody, you can just go ahead, throw your ideas, throw in whatever you want, and we'll make a card together.